Well, Happy New Year, YouTube friends and family. Welcome to 2022. Can you believe it? That year went by fast. I know it was a year of challenges for many of us with weather events as well as the virus. So I thought we would wrap up 2021 because today is actually New Year's Eve here, but I have to film ahead of time, so you'll have it up for New Year's Day. We'll wrap up 2021 by sharing my top 5 thrifting finds of 2021. Stay tuned. So I have 5 top finds of 2021 that are not necessarily my favorites because of value or even getting them at a great price. They're just things that I love and I was delighted to find. So we're going to start first here with this lovely 1950s mid-century modern lamp. So let me turn it on for you. Yes, it works. It has a little bit of a wobble in the base, so I'm trying not to move it because I've put some glue to try to hold that little piece that's wobbling together better. So the shade I purchased as a reproduction from Amazon, but the lamp itself I did buy from an antique store. So it's always good if you're in an antique store or a store with booths that are selling collectibles, or you're just plain on thrifting and that booth owner is there. So he had $105 on this lamp, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not paying that. Although it was quite lovely, and anything pink is super fun. So here's what I know about it. It is, of course, atomic era pink pottery. It has 24 karat gold bands both at the top and the bottom. It is in really good shape for its age. It has a single push through switch here. It is likely Hollywood Regency is the manufacturer. So here's something interesting about vintage finds. Advertising in the 50s was not what it is today. So a lot of things, like if you're looking at pottery pieces or tchotchkes, they'll just say Japan on the bottom or Taiwan. It does not have any maker on it. Even some of the early Holt Howard, if it's lost its little foil sticker, you have no clue actually who manufactured it. So I did some research, and best I can tell, it is a Hollywood Regency lamp. So it's supposed to be, the glitz and glam of Hollywood. It does have a felt bottom on it as well. And I asked the vendor, I said, what would you take for this lamp? What kind of deal can you give me? And I'm thinking, he's going to knock 10% off and maybe say like $90. No, he said 72, and I said sold. So even though I had to buy a lampshade, this was one of my more pricier buys for 2021. But when I find those great bargains, and I'm going to share a few of them with you, it gives me a little more money in my decorating budget to spend on things that I would really like to have. So that was my first thing. The second thing, so I'm going to hold this up. Oh, no, it's not upside down. So as you see, I paid $4.99 for this mint condition bed tray. So it does fold up, and it is a great little snack tray if you're eating in the recliner. If you eat in bed, I do all those things you're not supposed to do. So I bought this at Goodwill. I actually looked at it 2 times prior to the time I purchased it, and it was still there, and I'm like, well, I can totally use it. So I've put it in my guest bedroom or Ben's bedroom, for guests. If they come, they'll have a little overbed tray. They could have their coffee. And when my mom spends the night, she only has coffee in bed, and you have to bring it to her. My mom's a bit of a princess, just saying. So I thought this would get a lot of good use. So it is the wheat design. It is 1960s. These are very plentiful out on like eBay and Etsy. I found tons of pictures of it on Pinterest. But the funny thing was, I could not find a manufacturer. There is nothing written on this tray that I can find that would identify who made it. So again, 50s and 60s, a lot of things did not have manufacturer. Excuse me. Pardon me. Sometimes you have to sneeze. Did not have manufacturer information on it. So price-wise on eBay, I tried to look at sold value, was around $30 plus shipping. So I think for $4.99, I got a deal. And if you go to Goodwill on Wednesday, yes, you can get a senior discount of 5%. And you know what? That adds up. So I was very happy to receive that. So that was favorite number 2. All right, you ready for favorite number 3? So back to the splurge a little bit. So when I was a child, my mom and dad had one of these Black Panther TV lamps. So it has a light bulb in the back like this. I don't remember it being around the TV, but at the time these were popular, it was thought to be bad for your eyes to watch TV without a lot of light. So that started the whole genre of TV lamps. I remember my parents having it on the headboard of their bed, and they had a gorgeous, wish I had it, blonde furniture set that had the 2 little sliding doors at either end, and then it was like an open bookshelf in the middle, and it sat in there. And as a child, if I would have a bad dream, the Panther went on, and I was never allowed to get in bed, but I would go in the bedroom and they would turn that scary Black Panther on. I was always afraid of it. So I was walking through an antique store and I was like, no way, no way. And I did test it before I purchased it. The plug, although dirty, is in good shape. I had to have it, guys. So I paid $68 for it. On eBay, minus the shipping, they're going for about $110. The most popular design of TV lamp was the Black Panther, and it's most likely a Texas incorporated product. However, I could not find any sort of marking. On the bottom, it did have felt pads. Now these have worn away, so you can see it's hollow in here. Some of these were made, they had planters, or they had bases down here that they sat on that were square, that had a lot of gold filigree. But I just thought this was super cool, and yes, I have it in my bedroom by my TV because, you know, you can't watch TV in the dark or you damage your eyes. So that was number 3. All right, you're ready for a big bargain. Guys, I couldn't believe this. So this is a 1950s style magazine rack. It is oval, it is walnut, and I thought, oh, this is most likely handmade. Well, let me show you here. I've left prices on so y'all will believe me. I got this at Goodwill for $2.99, but you see this stamp? It's very blurred. So after doing some research, I could not believe. This is Arthur Umanoff for Washington Woodcraft. And it is, as I said, walnut. It's a Danish modern style. The value of this is about $130, and I paid $2.99. Now, that said, this thing was so disgusting. It had some mildew on it, so I've cleaned it up. I do want to get some old English furniture polish. It's got some nicks. It isn't perfect. And this little piece right here, where the seams are, has come unseamed, but a little wood glue and a clamp will fix that up. So guys, if you're looking to have some pieces that are, you know, a little out of your price range, don't discount Goodwill, because you can find all sorts of great things. I was attracted to this because of the style, not because I thought it was valuable in any way. But then when I knew what it was, when I found it on the internet and then could interpret the stamp, I was like, ooh, score. So that's 2 really good scores from Goodwill, 2 higher end items that I really wanted, that I could afford because I purchased the others at a great discount, I will say. All right, hold tight a minute. I need to rearrange, go over and show you number 5, which it's not my fifth favorite, it's my number one favorite, so I saved the best for last. Stay tuned. So obviously this is not the final resting place. I cleaned up and put together the legs, put it back on this morning, but this gem is the blonde wood with the Formica top, and this is actually Formica as well. Original hardware, matching chair, and the legs have the little metal tips. Very 1950s. This is actually a double drawer and a single drawer, and I just put the lamp on just for looking. So let me turn the camera around and I will share with you where I found this. And it's even got a little cubby hole there too, and how much I paid. So the day after Christmas, I thought, oh, nobody will be at the Antique Mall. So this is Heart of Ohio Antique Mall in Springfield, Ohio. And I thought I'll go. When my son left, I was feeling a little blue, you know, how it goes, the letdown after Christmas. And I always go to the very back of the Antique Mall. So I was turning the corner to go to the very back, and I spied this desk, and I thought, this is so 1950s, mid-century modern cool. I love it. It's a nice size. It has drawers. I bet it cost like way too much money. Okay, guys, wait for it. The price was $27.50. So I'm like looking it over, and there are just a couple chips over here in the Formica. Don't care about that. You know, it's a little wobbly, but that's the nature of the design of those skinny legged desks from the 1950s. So I have torn this apart, taken the drawers out, done everything, thoroughly cleaned. It was very dirty, cleaned and disinfected it. However, I cannot find any manufacturer information whatsoever. So I stopped one of the employees and I was like, does this say $27.50? Because I thought at minimum it would be $127.50. I thought that was a very odd price. And the lady's like, I know, they just brought it in. If you want it, you better snap it up. And guys, I walked away for about a minute. Turned around and said, hey, I'm gonna take this. As I looked at it and I knew the legs came off because I have a four-door sedan, I don't have an SUV or a truck. And the lady said, oh, the guys will carry it out. They'll take the legs off for you. It is very heavy, surprisingly heavy, but I've been able to manage it, take it apart by myself, no problem. So she said, I don't think it's mismarked. I don't think so, but I don't know. She said, I've never seen anything priced this low. So not only was it marked $27.50, when I went up to check out, Frugal Kim reminded them that if you pay cash, you get a 10% discount. So after discount, I paid $24.75. The chair is excellent, guys. I mean, it is firm. It is in great shape. It is not at all wobbly. Like I said, the desk is a little wobbly by its nature, and the top drawer sticks a little bit. All things that I can work on. And once I cleaned it up, I think it's absolutely a beauty and definitely my style. So what is my plan for this desk? I actually have a desk over by the fireplace that I have my computer on, and I could not find the right dimensions of desk when I was looking for a desk in a price range I was willing to pay. So I went on the old faithful Amazon, and I would not recommend this product, and bought one that's like the pressed board, and that thing is terrible. It's wobbly. It has already started to, some of the pressed board is like separating, I guess is the best way to say it. So this has stood the test of time for 70 years. So I'm sure that I can use it for the remainder of my lifetime. So I was super excited about this. Definitely my favorite buy of 2021, and a very economical one at that. So I thought I would just take the opportunity, and yes, I have some talking notes here, to talk a little bit about my plans for 2022 and what this channel is going to look like. So thank you all for who took the poll. Guys, I apologize. I could not figure out how to make it so you could select multiple items, even though that was what the instructions were. It would not allow for that. So most votes for people who did vote were for the pantry challenge. So we are absolutely going to do that. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in just a moment. Written comments, and a lot of you commented either on the video and or the post. And thank you all so much. It's very helpful to me. Hands down, it was like, I want to see it all. So I guess I didn't have any dud things in there. A few people said, I don't sew, but I will watch it anyway. So sewing, I will be doing some sewing, but it won't be like a major focus every day. So if you don't sew and you're not interested, no worries there. So I have some personal goals I want to share with you. I am at about 2,500 subscribers, which is a very, 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 very small channel. And guys, I've been working at this. It was a year, August 1st. I would really like to grow my channel. And I think a realistic goal is to double my subscribers. And so anytime you can share my video, like, comment, that really helps the algorithm on YouTube to share my video as well. I really appreciate that very much. So that's goal number 1. Goal number 2, being the wellness homesteader, I definitely want to put more emphasis on wellness. So as I was thinking about a lot of the cooking that I do, I like to share cooking treats like donuts and Christmas goodies and things like that. But day to day, I can't eat that way, or I would be even chubbier than I already am. So definitely want to do more wellness topics, more healthy cooking. I'm expanding my garden this year. I've almost doubled the size of my raised beds. And so I want to incorporate some fresh cooking and also maybe some grilling of fresh vegetables, some home projects. And being here as a single person, what can I do rather than to outsource everything? I have a couple projects I'm going to be working on, and I want to bring you along. One is to do a little bit of a facelift for my kitchen, and then a more major facelift to my dining room. So I hope to get those 2 things accomplished in 2022. And then, of course, the pantry challenge, which I already mentioned. I will be continuing my shopping hauls, my thrift hauls. And guys, in spite of the pantry challenge, I will share with you that after January 6th, when I am doing my Azure Standard haul, I have a new relationship with Azure that I want to share with you. No, I don't work for them, but I will be required to do monthly hauls on my channel as part of this new relationship. So those will continue. Definitely crafts and sewing, canning and food preservation, whether it's pickling, dehydrating, making things from fresh herbs, definitely. Prepping will always be a part of this channel. I think it's a part of homesteading. I will continue Throwback Thursday. It won't be every Thursday because I don't have enough cool things to share with you to do it every Thursday. And then soap and product making. I haven't done that for a while. And for those of you who have asked, do I have this or that in stock? I always take the month of December completely off. I try to sell out of as much current year product before the new year turns over, so I can look at what's new, trends, colors, scents, etc., products. Bath bombs were all the rage, not so much anymore. So those type things. So we will be having some product making videos coming up. Also, someone had asked yesterday about cleaning products. And I was like, oh, I have everything in a playlist. Well, when I went back and looked, some of it is in one playlist, some of it is in another. So we may be doing some more homemade, natural cleaning product videos as well. So let's talk about the pantry challenge. So you're watching this on New Year's Day, hopefully, and I already have scheduled my As Your Standard delivery. As I said, it's January 6th, so I thought, what day can we start? Let's start January 15th. So that will give you time to prepare to do the pantry challenge. So what is a pantry challenge? It's a focused time where you're using up what you have on your shelves in your pantry and your refrigerator and your freezers rather than to grocery shop. Now, I'm not going to set the rules for you. I would like to do it from the 15th of January to March 1. I do want to incorporate some fresh items, guys, because there's only so much non-fresh food that you can eat before you really want a salad. So here's what I would suggest. Decide on your own rules, set a small budget for fresh items, and then, of course, stick to that. The point of the pantry challenge isn't to eat weird food or undesirable food combinations. It's really to save money, to be creative, and to use some of your pantry store towards feeding yourself and your family. Now, it will decrease your waste as well. What I will say is I don't plan on emptying out all my prepping because that doesn't make sense for me. I will be using a lot of things that I have canned and preserved or have frozen in my pantry challenge. So what do you need to do? Well, the first thing you need to do is take stock of what you have. It kind of defeats the purpose if you go out and do like a massive grocery haul so that, you know, for the next month or however long you decide to do the challenge, you won't need to go to the grocery. But do take stock of what you have. Look at what you need fresh-wise or staple-wise, like things like butter and milk and, I don't know, flour and sugar, those kind of basic things. While you're doing that, taking stock, throw out anything. It's a good time to do a clean out. Anything that's freezer burnt, anything that's way beyond expiration date or is stale. I consider expiration dates as a suggestion, but I'm careful to really take a look at the food and make sure it's good if it's past the expiration date. The next thing is set a budget for essentials. So what do you need to spend on fresh things, things that maybe you don't have a deep freeze, so you can't freeze your dairy, your butter, your milk, etc. So set a budget that's realistic, but is really just for those essential things that you need to buy fresh. Then plan your first week of meals. And guys, I'm going to tell you, I am the worst at doing that because I will prepare something and then I will eat it until it's gone because it's just me. Sometimes I'll make up some freezer meals from what I made, but I don't plan extensive dinners on a daily basis. But I'm going to try to do some meal planning for week 1. Another thing, you need to resist the urge to eat out. So you're going to need to plan ahead, whether that's thawing out things, creating menu plans, maybe using a crock pot or an Instant Pot to do some of your meals so that you're not tempted just to go out to eat because you didn't plan ahead and there's no convenience food left in your freezer or in your pantry. Then your reward is, you probably know by now, what is your average grocery bill per week. You're going to subtract from that what you actually spend on your essential fresh items, and then that amount that's left can be put into savings. So that's your reward when you start to see cooking at home all meals and using your pantry can really save you a lot of money rather than to run to the grocery every time for something fresh to eat. Few other tips. I would not announce to your family, particularly if they're picky eaters, that you're going to do a pantry challenge because they will start to grumble and they will want certain things that are not available in your pantry. Also, stick to your budget. Shop with a list and stick to it. If you need to use the calculator on your phone as you're going through the grocery, so you make sure you're sticking to that budget, do that. The less times you're in the grocery, the less money you are definitely going to spend. So if you can stretch your fresh buying out for 2 weeks rather than every week, that will help you as well. So I hope you're excited about the 2022 Pantry Challenge. Again, that start date target is January 15th. So drop me a comment below. Are you going to participate in the Pantry Challenge? Number one. Number two, do you have any questions for me about the Pantry Challenge? And I didn't mention too, I will be doing the Depression era cooking. And then the third thing I would ask of you is there any topic that I didn't mention that you would like to see? And some of you said, you would be interested in lookbook, vintage clothing. So I'll be doing some of that. It just won't be a main focus for sure. So I hope you all are having a wonderful start to your year. I always love New Year's because it is a fresh start. I'm normally not a person that makes New Year's resolutions, but I do make some goals, and I've certainly set some for myself this year as well. So don't forget, if you haven't already, smash that like button. If you know someone who would be interested in participating in the Pantry Challenge, by all means, please share my video. There is a button below the video that says share, has an arrow, and once you push that, it will give you the option of like Messenger or Facebook, or do you want to share it via email, text, etc., depending on your device that you're using. So don't forget to share. That helps my subscriber rate grow, and I greatly appreciate it. I am thankful for each and every one of you. You have made 2021 a very enjoyable year this year, made lots of new friends, and grown my YouTube friends and family greatly, and I do definitely appreciate you. So as always, be healthy, be well, be blessed, and I will see you all very soon. Take care.